This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got a double feature for you today. What we're really talking about is how the system actually supports Black women, because Black women seem to think that they're in better hands with Allstate, and I want to show them that you're not. So I have two videos that I want to show you. They're both each short, so we're probably going to spend maybe 2 minutes total, maybe less, on both of them. So excuse me. So let me show you one and then show you the other one right behind it. I'm going to show you the longer one first. So here we go.
When was y'all going to tell me that Bill Gates' father was once the head of Planned Parenthood? I mean, I'm not surprised, but this just further proves the depopulation agenda. This just further proves how Planned Parenthood was designed to eliminate certain people. Watch this.
That really grabbed me as urgent were issues related to population, reproductive health.
But did you come to reproductive issues as an intellectual?
When I was growing up, my parents were always involved in various volunteer things. My dad was head of Planned Parenthood, and it was very controversial to be involved with that.
When was y'all going?
Okay. So now, let me stop sharing that. And I'm going to share the second clip. And I need to share both of these clips with you so that you can get the context of what I'm really talking about. So let me share this screen with you right here. And then we are going to talk about it. We're going to give you my perspective. Here we go.
Generous donation to Planned Parenthood. Bezos' ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, for her generous donation to Planned Parenthood last month. She gave them $275 million for Black women to have abortions. Wow. As a Black woman, I honestly can't think of any other way she could have helped us. All that money just for us to lynch our own babies in the womb. That's one way to make sure Black babies aren't being born. Call me crazy, but I thought they said Black Lives Matter. It seems to me Black Lives Matter until a Black woman gets pregnant. I said that, Angela Stanton King. You know, I've always wondered what the Bezos would do with all of that money Amazon made during COVID while the rest of our businesses were shut down. It's really nice to see how much they truly care about us Black women.
The way to help Black women who choose abortion. Amazing.
Okay. So let me stop sharing that. All right. So you were able to hear and see those videos. Hold on. Hear and see those videos. Now, none of my subscribers should be surprised at this, but you know, I kind of pride myself on being able to connect dots for you. Just so we're not here to play guessing games. We're here to actually understand our issues and get to solutions. So I am not here to play a guessing game with everybody. So I like to connect dots whenever I can. Sometimes the hardest dots to connect are the ones that's sitting right in front of our faces just because they're so close. But the whole point that I wanted to talk about was, first of all, to go into Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, donating $275 million, a lot of money, $275 million to Planned Parenthood in a bid to like help Black women or the Black community. Does this help the Black community? Does it help Black women? Does it help us do anything other than terminate our own pregnancies? While we've got young Black women doing little, I'm getting rid of it dances and all of that stupid stuff. We got them doing that. We got them twerking on top of, little beds before the procedures are done. All of this sort of thing. We got this going on. And Black women are proud to be the ones deleting their own. And we're going to get to why. And then we had the other clip, the first clip that I showed, about Bill Gates' father being at one point the head of Planned Parenthood. And he used some interesting words. He used reproductive health to describe what Planned Parenthood is all about. And I just want to draw everybody's attention to the fact of the types of words that these heathens like to use when they want to hide what they really saying. Reproductive health sounds a whole lot better than a eugenics program. Reproductive health sounds a whole lot better than deleting your fetus in your womb. Reproductive health sounds a whole lot better than saying, well, we are on a depopulation agenda and we're on an agenda to make sure that our group remains the dominant group, remains the majority group, and that other groups remain a minority group to be easier to be controlled by those of us who are in power. Can't say that. So you gotta use quote unquote cute little words to try to dress up what you're talking about so that people don't really get the full gravity of the demonic nature of what you're saying. This is why they couch arguments in culture, in the moral, and in environment, in the legal. This is why they couch certain conversations that way, because they don't want people to experience the moral outrage that a lot of these topics actually deserve. Because they don't want you thinking in a moral way. They don't want you thinking from the standpoint of biology. Because if you think from the standpoint of biology, Planned Parenthood doesn't make sense unless you're trying to depopulate. That's the only way it actually makes sense. The only way it makes sense to delete something in your womb, right, is under these types of influences. So what has really happened is this society, why am I talking about Black women? Because this society has convinced Black women that the cover of their men is not as good and not as safe as the cover of the so-called powers that be, of the so-called system. And I'm wondering when Black women as a group are going to wake up to that. They've convinced you that your man is more dangerous to you than they could ever be. They're convincing you that you can achieve more as an individual than you can as part of a family unit. That you're better off on your own. You're better off without those kids. You're better off without that husband. You're better off without that family support system. You're better off without a communal support system. You're better off. You're better off, Black woman, by yourself. And anytime you need help, anytime you need assistance, anytime you need, succor, don't go to the community, because what we've done is we have made sure that you cut the community off. We've made sure that you have made an enemy of yourself to your community. We've made sure that you as Black women have made an enemy of yourself to Black men. We make sure of that. We plant these ideas in your head and then you perpetuate them. You perpetuate these ideas about being strong and independent and being single and being better than the other components of what would be your community had you had sense enough to stay in your community. But you don't. You don't got sense enough. What we do is we have gotten you out from among them, and we have isolated you as a Black woman. And we told you that this isolation that we've done to you is best for you. That's what we told you. That's what we've given you, that this isolation that you are experiencing, this being alone in the world like this being vulnerable like this being uncovered like this being unprotected like this is a better thing for you, beloved. As opposed to actually joining in with your community where other people get their strength. You don't get your strength from that. You get your strength from us. You get your strength from our system. And then once they get you there, they become open about destroying you. And the reason why they become open about destroying you is because once they got you isolated, there ain't nothing you can do about it anyway. Can't go back to the community because you burned it down. They made sure you burned it down. They made sure you had a good time burning it down. They made sure that the other members of the community saw you with the gas can and the matches. They stayed out of it. They stayed out of it. They made sure they wasn't nowhere around. They made sure that the hands that puppeteered were never seen. They made sure of that. So when you complain about being manipulated and hoodwinked by the so-called powers that be, don't nobody want to hear it, because every time there's a fire, I see you with the gas can and the matches. Every time. So you the enemy. So you're the arsonist. And I don't want to hear about the pressures of any kind. Because if you're receiving external outside pressure to burn your community down, really all you need to do to eliminate that is come to your community and say, listen, I'm being pressured and targeted as the soft target to destroy everybody. And I don't want to do that. I love y'all. I want to be with y'all. I'm part of this community too. Why would I ever burn it down? Why would I ever destroy it? Why would I ever work so hard to be in a gender war that doesn't benefit you, me, the kids, and nobody else? But only the so-called powers that be are benefited from the Black male and female gender war. Excuse me. They the only ones. Nobody else benefits from that. And once they saw that you had gone for it, hook, line, and sinker, like I said, they get to be open about it now. They get to tell you to your face that we trying to offer you. Nothing you can do about it. They done convinced you that they were the best possible thing, the best alternative for you. They convinced you that your man is dangerous. You can come get our men. You can come get a white man. You know what I'm saying? Your community is dangerous. You can just plant yourself in our community and we'll accept you. They told you a bunch of lies. They told you so many lies over so many decades. And now this is why y'all are so invested in this gender war like this, because to admit that you're wrong is to admit that your mama was wrong, her mama was wrong, all of these foremothers was wrong, had it all wrong. And you're not willing to admit that. You're not willing to admit your role in this. Because for as much as I recognize the external pressure, I also recognize your willingness to go along with it. And when called out, you still go along with it. When all of the pieces are laid out, when all of the pieces of the puzzle are laid out, you don't cop to it. You keep going in the destruction. So I got to talk about you. I got to point at you. I can't even point at them. I got to point at you because you're a willing participant for all of this stuff. Willing participants in the burning down of the community, like Black Lives Matter. Willing participants Black women in charge of an organization that was meant to help Black people. Are we surprised that they did not do that and that they looked out for themselves only, for their family and friends only? And they didn't look out for the Black community as a whole, because Black women don't even have that mentality. So what we have is a petition against Black Lives Matter as an organization for that incredible selfishness that they showed, incredible callousness that they showed by stealing from the Black community. So in the description box, there is a link to the petition. So please sign it, please share it, and please contribute to it if you can. I would greatly appreciate that as well, so that we can hold them accountable. Also, sound off in the comment section and let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.